The increasing conditions are 10-2. 6 Charlie, okay. 6 Charlie, call. 196 Bleecker Street is apparently secure from ground level.
You should watch your women. She gon' leave with me. Bring her to my pad. I'ma get up in it. You should watch your women. She gon' leave with me. Bring her to my pad. I'ma get up in it. It's nothing new. Mine on the Bentley cool. Mommy cool. But tell me who the fuck is you? You ballin' too? We probably on different hoops. Pretty smooth. I'ma take your women too. Take them out, then make a few suggestions to myself. Cause I'll probably fuck her next friends. Make it worse, they gon' probably be her best friends. Either way, we gon' all end up sexing. Fuck abroad, they be on that bullshit. I'm always focused, never on that bullshit.
Hey. What's happening, HuBes? We back again for another installment of RiHuBe. I think this is like 10 or something. Don't know. Doesn't matter. If that's wrong, still not editing it out. Why? Because that's how we do it. That's what this podcast is. You know, if we're wrong, we're wrong. If we're right, we're right. You know, but either way, we are in the friendly nest, in the trust tree, at the motherfucking zoo. All right? Always and forever. Always and forever. That's how romantic this is that we got here, HuBes. All right? So without further ado, you know how we do. First things first. Highland High.
All right, boom. So peep game. I don't think Facebook trying to let me be great.
I think he makes a point to start all his videos with a black people phrase.
I'm actually on my way to work.
Don't do that.
And while I was in the clinic, a situation happened.
That's for teenage girls to do.
A young lady walked in, and I sat down. Well, I was already seated. And she sat down in front of me, and I kind of got a whiff
seems
of
like
her,
this one is going to be a story. Oh,
and I said, you know, just being me. Anybody that knows me knows I'm just, you know, genuine. Okay. I said, excuse me, ma'am, your fragrance smells lovely.
Oh, is that right?
And
is that what you said?
She turned around and goes, I got a boyfriend.
Okay, I might be able to feel him on this story.
Like, I already see what kind of day is this about to be and what kind of conversation this is about to be as well. So I just simply, you know what, I apologize. I didn't mean to, you know, anything by it or whatever the case may be. And I'm in my phone, like completely not even worried about the situation anymore. She then goes on to say,
okay.
And on top of that, I don't associate with your kind.
Wow. All right.
I said, excuse me?
This might be the first actually interesting one.
Before I got to say anything else,
I just want to know how he's gonna fuck this up.
From the title of this, that the young lady didn't look like me, and the young man that was sitting next to me, who outranked the both of us, didn't look like me either. But he pulled her to the side, and while I'm not sure what he said to her, when she came back over,
I guess he's trying to say they were white.
She came back over. She apologized, and the only thing that I could think at that moment to say to her is
he's
that
a black guy.
There is no my kind. There is no your kind. In the military, it's our kind.
Oh, only in the military.
Now, granted, once we take this uniform off, now, granted, some people are going to have something to say about in the uniform versus out the uniform. I don't care.
Well, you have something to say about it, seems like.
While we have this uniform on.
You're saying it right now.
Any type of military service working uniform.
Okay.
We are together. Regardless of whether you look like me, talk like me, walk like me, whatever the case may be. So the only thing I said to her is there is no my kind. There is no your kind. There's an our kind. And that's it. Okay. And more so to the point, in the racial climate that we're in today,
okay,
these types of situations are very sensitive.
I kind of hate when people say racial climate.
And I'm not going to lie, I get caught up doing this as well.
Like it's raining racism.
Saying what we would or would not have done in situations
like it's all
such
clouds.
As that, right? And oftentimes, it's met with a response of violence, right? And granted, nobody wakes up hoping that this type of situation happens to them. And granted, I'm not the least bit bothered for myself, but I'm more so bothered for her junior sailors. because given that moment, she felt very comfortable to say that, which to me says that that's not the first time she's done that. And the brother that was sitting next to me, my melanin deficient brother, he didn't think about what she looked like or what I looked like. He thought about the impact that statement had.
I don't think that's a good way to say that.
Like I said, while I can't say for sure what he said, I'm more than positive it was something to the effect of, "You sound dumb as hell, and don't you ever say that again." To the point where she came back to me and apologized. And it reminded me of a story.
Oh, did it?
That I read.
This might be where he fucks it up.
It goes...
Because this was going good so far. It's good enough.
Mother and daughter were talking.
Okay.
And the daughter had got in trouble in school for saying something to another child.
Fucking it up, I think.
Right.
Oh,
and
man.
The mom was, kind of reaming her out about it. Reaming she said, but I said sorry.
Is that a thing?
She said, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to grab that plate from over there on the counter. She grabbed the plate. She goes, now I want you to drop it on the floor.
Okay. Now this sounds weird.
Drop it on the floor. So she dropped it on the floor. Boom. It broke.
I hope it was worth it. Teaching your kid a lesson. A broken plate.
Now she said, I want you to say sorry to that plate. She bent down. She said sorry.
And the plate's not going to
put back together. I want to ask you a question.
Did it change anything?
Did you saying sorry fix what was broken?
There it goes.
She said no. She said that's exactly how you made someone feel today. You can't fix what's broken just by saying sorry. You have to fix this first.
He's pointing to his noggin, guys.
You have to fix this. If you don't fix this, this is going to get you in trouble. I could have easily
the next this was his mouth.
I'm being completely transparent. I could have flipped the fuck out.
Could have did it.
But what I realized in that moment is that sometimes we have to take those moments as teachable moments.
Didn't do it.
To be able to, number one, ground ourselves.
And two,
understand who we are and where we are. In that moment, it would not have served me at all to flip out. Especially considering the context of where we were. I respect you for how you handled it. I appreciate that. And granted, it was hard.
Somebody wrote that. Had to read it.
So hard. Because I remember a time where I didn't take those types of situations lightly. Now, I'm going to be completely 100% honest as well. If I didn't have my uniform on, yeah, that conversation probably would have went a way different way.
I don't think
However, what I'm understanding is that I have to be able to respond both in the uniform and out the uniform in a way that is both intelligent,
like naked,
grounded, and also shows a level of maturity that says that I'm not going to allow you to knock me off my square. I'm not going to allow you to put me into a situation where I have to now defend myself on a level that is probably not even necessary. Okay. On the civilian side, it'll be the police. On the military side, it's going to be the police. And then you have the judicial system within the military as well. Facts, tenacity, uniformity.
Well, there's judicial system outside of there,
at the end of the day, she got corrected and learned her lesson. Perfect reactions of the idiocracy. Absolutely. And I want to also give a highlight to my melanin deficient brother that actually thought enough to say something.
Melanin deficient
If you're sitting around watching these types of things happen around you, whether you're black, white, purple, green, blue, yellow, whatever the case may be, and you're allowing these types of things to happen in your presence, you're just as wrong. And you dead ass wrong for that.
I don't know, man.
Those types of situations need to be handled
sometimes you got to stay out of shit
and tactfully, and you have to stay grounded. I love you guys. Remember, God is peace.
Only because he was some kind of superior officer.
So have a good day.
Do we fuck with that? Otherwise, sometimes you got to leave people to their devices. Let them work shit out. If it was getting out of hand, then I get it. If it came down to having a witness account, then okay. But everybody don't always step in. That's how you get your ass bust. That's how you get your shit kicked in. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think everybody really understands that. And that just reminds me of I guess men and women, man. Men and women. There's a big difference with that in men and women. When to step in and when we want people to step in and how we handle these types of situations. And it's absolutely fucking funny. But we're going to get to that a little bit later. We're going to try to get in to Ben back right now. See what he got for us.
Facebook Live today.
All right, bet.
What up, world? It's your man Ben Bakayoko, the billionaire execution and love coach, guys. I'm excited, man. Like I'm pumped up, geeked up, and super excited to be on this Facebook Live.
Drug references to follow. He's just on a roll right now.
And here, man, I'm about to dig into why I've been away for so long, but it's just like I'm just excited to give you guys this one video.
You so much.
Just because I haven't been on in a while. But guys, what I really want to talk to you guys about is like escaping this rat race, right? Like getting free. And just like that's and what I noticed about myself and what I've noticed about people, it's just like, yo, we really don't think. Like I really didn't think for a minute, right? So it's just like I got accustomed to doing things in a certain way. And the way I was doing things wasn't working for me, but for some reason I kept doing the same thing over and over and over again. So that's the rat race for me, right? Like you going over and over again in the same circular motion. Like there's no progress. Like there's a lot of movement.
Rat races don't go in circular motions, but
a lot of activity, but no productivity, right? And that was my life. And just like I was wondering why I was stuck. And then I've heard the idea before, or I've heard the quote before, but it's just like I never really lived it, and I'm actually living it now. And what Einstein said, guys, he said, Einstein, you can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created it, right? So it's just like you cannot solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created it.
No, that's exactly what it is.
When I say that,
I didn't think,
I never really took the time to step away from my life and look at it from a third-party perspective and be like, yo, Ben, change this, yo, Ben, how can you do this better? Yo, Ben, how can you make the day better? How can you make the month better? How can you ensure that you achieve the goals that you want? Not just doing all this activity, just make sure you hit the goals that you want. So guys, the reason why I haven't been on Facebook Live as much as possible is because I've been sitting back and taking time to think about, yo, what is it that I want and how can I get there effectively? So it's just like, hey, my man Rodney, get on here. Yeah, my guy. All right, so it's just like, guys, the reason why I haven't been on Facebook Live as much as I want to be is because I had to step back and take that third-party perspective. And it's just like I had to answer 3 questions Tiffany Montgomery asked me. And what she asked me was like, yo, number one question you want to ask yourself is, like, how can I make the most amount of money, right? The second question you want to know is, in the shortest period of time, how can I make the most amount of money in a shorter period of time? The third question you want to add on top of that is, how can I make the most amount of money in a shortest period of time doing something that I love? So those are the 3 questions you want to ask yourself. And guys, those are the 3 questions I've been asking myself every single day. How can I make the most amount of money in the shortest period of time doing something that I love? And guys, I found that thing that I love. And what I've had to do is like step back and decide, yo, how much money do I want to make a year? So just like next year, the goal is 600K, right? So just like I've decided what I want to make now. Now, not only do you have to decide how much money you want to make, you got to actually tell yourself, like, what are you going to do with that money? And that was a struggle for me. It took me probably 4 weeks, maybe 3 weeks at the minimum to decide, like, yo, if I make all this money, because it's such a huge jump from what I'm making right now, what the hell am I going to do with it? So it took me the time or whatever, but I finally decided, like, yo, this is what I'm going to do. It's just like I got living expenses, I got stuff I want to do for my wife, my kids, I got stuff I want to do for my mom, I got savings, I got taxes, I got debt and stuff like that. I figured out exactly what I'm going to do with all of my money. Now, I have to decide what gift or what talent am I going to use to earn that money? And that's something I'm going to do today. I got to decide, like, yo, coaching is going to pay for this. Speaking is going to pay for this. Ad revenue is going to pay for this, you know?
I thought you're supposed to know that before you set the number. If you didn't know that, then where the fuck did the number come from?
YouTube course is going to pay for something else. So deciding
arbitrary number.
And what happens, guys, is because what I've noticed is just like, yo, all of us have 24 hours a day. And it's just like, truth be told, I recently learned this, like, we live probably 90% of our day subconsciously, meaning we don't think about what we're doing. We just do these things automatically without thinking about it. And here's the thing that happens when we don't think about what we're doing. Like, we don't know whether what we're doing is bringing us closer to our goal or taking us further away from our goal. So now the goal is to become consciously aware of what you're doing. If it ain't helping me get to my goal, I'm not doing it. So guys, how do you become more conscious of what you're doing?
Screwing lids on jaws?
So it's just like, now I'm not operating from my mind. I'm not operating.
And what is the 10%? Is that like you taking a piss?
Because I told you, I've decided exactly what I need to do. I've written a plan in order to achieve that goal, and I got daily goals that I need to hit to ensure that that plan actually succeeds. So just like when the day comes by, and I don't do those things, I know that I'm 5 steps away from my dream. I remember E.T. said this years ago. He says, every day you don't wake up and pursue your dream, like, yo, you've literally pushed it back 5, maybe 6 years. Like that one day, he said, pushes your dream or your goal back 5, maybe 6 years.
That's a
it's
lot.
Just like we think, I was talking to my wife yesterday, and this is something else that I told her. It's just like, yo, like we get into the thought process of thinking like certain things don't matter. I'm like, every single thing we do or don't do matters, and it matters a lot.
I don't know,
like I'm
man.
about to go really deep with you guys. I didn't intend to go here. But I remember
like
Moose, he said something on the call that I actually just listened to, one of my mentors or whatever. He was just like, yo, how is your soul formed? Like, how is your character formed? How is the person that you are right now formed? Like, how did you become the person that you are right now? And he said, you are formed through your 5 senses, right? So it's just like, what you eat, what you speak, or whatever, what you hear, what you listen to, what you smell, what you taste, the touch, all of those, your 5 senses, right? So the idea is throughout your life, you've been influenced through all of those things, and as a result, you become the person that you are today. So when you go through your day subconsciously, like you're not aware, like everything that happens around you is affecting you, whether you know it or not. Everything influences you, and it impacts your decisions.
You live on
so what I told my wife and what I'm telling myself every single day is just like, yo, if you're going to be influenced, make sure it's the thing that's influencing you is influencing you in a way that allows you to hit your goals. And if it's not, you have to remove yourself.
I get it.
From
this
that
is him declaring that he's going to take over the world. That's the only way you can do that.
Putting yourself in an environment around people that are
the only way you have that much control is to take over the world.
Dream. So that's what the goal is, and that's what the intention is for me. And guys, like, it's insane. So let's just make sure that we're consciously aware of what we're doing. So taking that step back, and look, it's not a monthly thing. It's actually a daily thing for me now, right? It's just like, and that just happened this month, where it's just like I look at the day, right?
A daily thing happened this month because it's not monthly. I run it.
Okay, that's completely cool. I forgive myself, because that was tough, right? Forgiving yourself for not doing what you said you was going to do. Like, we beat ourselves up a whole lot. So it's just like I stopped beating myself up, but I started thinking more. So it's just like, did you accomplish what you needed to do? No. Okay, what didn't you do? All right, why didn't you do that? What can you do better tomorrow so you can definitely achieve that? So just going through that thinking process, and what Bob Proctor calls is a disciplined mind. Like we got to put our head and our minds and our thinking on a leash, right? Because if you don't control it, like, it'll go anywhere. It will wander. It'll think about your past. I heard this morning, actually, from another one of my coaches. She was just like, yo,
it's just
if you're thinking about your past, like, what part of your past is helping you achieve your goals? That's why you're not achieving your goals or whatever. Like, if we're thinking about our past, we're thinking about the mistakes that we're making. What part of that process is helping us achieve our goals? If there's nothing in that mistakes, if there's nothing in our past that's helping us get where we want, why are we worried about it? Why are we concerned about it? If there's something in our past that can get us where we want, let's go ahead, take a deep dive, learn the lesson, and then use that to get where we want to go, guys. So that's really what I wanted to share with you guys today. Just start thinking about what it is that you really want to do, and then go out and do that, and just like make it a daily thing where it's just like you look at yourself, you look at your day, and you decide, hey, this is what I want to do. And if you don't do it that day, think, like, what can I do better tomorrow so I can be 1% better every single day, right? And if you become 1% better every single day, like, imagine what your life would be like. And you can think about it in this perspective, like, yo, most of us have jobs, right? And it's just like, yo, we get a 4% raise each year or something like that, right? So imagine getting a 1% raise every single day, 365 days. Imagine increasing your income by 365% just because you've decided to become 1% better every single day. Like, it's crazy. But guys, man, I love you. This year is going to be freaking awesome. Like, we're going to end the year strong. But 2020, guys, like, that's the year that we going. So it's just like, I had a show called The Revolution. The Resolution, I'm bringing it back in 2020. And it's like, it's about resolve, right? And it's just like, I'm going to go ahead and give you this definition of resolve that Jim Rohn taught me last year or years ago. And what he said about resolve, he was in the classroom, right? And there was these kids that he was teaching. And he asked them, what's the definition of resolve, right? One kid said is never quitting. Another kid said is doing what you said you were going to do. And he said, that's it. Doing what you said you was going to do. But another kid said a better definition that impacted him more. He said, resolve is promising yourself that you'll never give up. right? Promising yourself that you'll never stop trying until you accomplish what it is that you said you were going to accomplish, right? And he said that's what resolve means. So what does that mean for you and me right now that's listening to this?
Real cute.
That means like, yo, if you set a goal, the idea is to never give up until you achieve that goal. So it's just like how many people you have to call as much as it takes, how many books you have to read as much as it takes, how many seminars you got to go to as much as it takes, how much time you got to spend on yourself personally developing as much as it takes. And when we got that type of resolve towards anything,
weird.
guys, there's nothing we can't be, do, or accomplish. So thank you guys
There
so much
goes
for
the
listening. I'll
kindergarten
catch you next
classic.
time. Peace. I appreciate you, Rodney, man. I learned so much from you. T,
Fucking
you're awesome,
Rodney.
man. It was really great seeing you last weekend, man. We're going to crush it this day, and we're going to crush it this year. Peace.
Last week? Shit. Giving away a little bit too much information there, Ben boy. All right. Wow. I think that was going somewhere cooler from the start and then turned into the kindergarten classic. You know, reading rainbow shit. You could do anything. Just take a look. It's in a book. That's how old those messages are. Decades old. And it's like we still haven't gotten it and we still have to keep teaching it. Because life keeps starting over. With every little creature we shit out. It's just going to be never ending. I guess these lessons that we have to teach here. But it's okay. It's all right, Hubies. You know. Everybody can't be, you know, on the money. Everybody can't be the opposite of a piece of shit. There's going to be pieces of shit out there. You know, and either we shape them up or we flush them down. But I don't think that's our job here at the zoo. Will we have a couple pieces of shits in the zoo? That's a good question. That's a good question. Do we already have a couple pieces of shits in the zoo? Probably. So maybe it's not even a question. It's just a fact of life. There's going to be shit. It's going to be fucking shit. Speaking of, man, my week. My fucking week, man. And I hope I got this for you. And I don't remember if I do. Because now I live in the hood. I live in the hood. That's where I live at. You know, and this is not, and that's not me saying that as a bad thing. That just is what it is. You know, it's the hood. It's been that before my time, and it'll probably be that long enough after my time. But it is this during my time for sure. You know, and for the first time, I've seen something that, you know, that I've always wondered about. You know, but could really never put my finger on it. You know, because it's hard to do. I saw a panhandler. If you're not familiar with that, panhandler. For all intents and purposes, we're going to say those are the people who beg for money. Beggars. Panhandler. You know, they go to a location and hold out some form of container and solicit money in it. And I would venture a guess that the name comes from maybe a century ago or more, when maybe these people used a pan to do this. And of course held the pan by the handle and would hold it out to you for the money or whatever. So they would then be understood to be panhandlers. You know, completely taking a guess at that. But, you know, knowing the way humans operate, that's probably fucking right. It's just probably right. Maybe I'll Google that someday. Maybe I fucking won't, because it won't matter. As soon as I get off this podcast, it won't fucking matter. All right. But I seen a guy. Now, this guy rode the train. Like he was at the train stop, same one as me, hanging out. Yo, and he rode the train to the same stop where I get off. You know, I get off in a place that got a lot of foot traffic. And my man just went over to the steps, bust a Yui. If you don't know what that means, made a U-turn, turned around. Already had his cup in his hand and just immediately started begging for money. Like he just got off the train and immediately started begging for money. Now, this is not a strange or unusual thing. It might be a little unusual for you to witness the person travel from, you know, the place of origin over to the panhandling location. You know, but other than that, it was nothing too crazy, except. And again, I'm about to say this, and if I wasn't me, if I wasn't there, I wouldn't believe me either. Okay. And I'm glad I believe I took a picture, so you probably see it on the video podcast. All right, that this guy had on, it was a guy. It was definitely a guy. You know, although nowadays you can't be too sure. Older guy. And he's got a fucking green wig on. And I think the wig had a little bow in it or something. You know, like, why am I even fucking guessing? If I got the picture, I got the fucking picture. But altogether, this guy had a green wig on. And I'm just like, why? Why? Maybe if he can convince us that he's got the fucking crazies, then maybe we'll be more inclined to give him money. Is that a strategy? Okay, and I do got a picture, and I wish I had a better one, but you just can't be just pulling up with pictures of people all the time. And this man he did have a fucking neon green wig on, and then he's got like full guy clothes on. You know, he had a whole bubble coat on. His pants was looking kind of crazy. Okay, and I think he had a bag in his hand. A bag for what? Like a big shopping bag. Don't know. Like, what the fuck is your story? When you woke up, for one, knowing that you was going to beg for money today, and two, that you was going to wear your best fucking wig. And the crazy shit is he got on the train the same stop as me, so I could probably see him again. This man is a part of my community. A green wig tweak. What the fuck, man? What in the fuck? You know, and we could get into wigs a little bit later, because that reminds me of something else that I want to tell you guys. A lot of things happening, man. And this podcast is probably going to be today all about men and women, because it's weird out here. It's getting weird. You know, just with people in general, it's getting weird. You know, and I fully, not going to say fully, but I mostly blame technology. You know, and secondly, I blame our reception of technology, because we don't know how to talk to people anymore. We just don't. And we have our babies growing up with machines, not understanding the ramifications of that on a psychological level. Like your child's first friend is basically a machine most of the time, you know. And you probably disagreeing with me, some people, you know, but just think about it for a second. You know, you give them the machines, the gadgets, to calm them down. You know, they're developing an emotional response to these gadgets, for one. And then we like to give kids the things that talk to them. You know, this used to be a point of human contact, speaking. You know, but now they're getting that from the machines. And the most dangerous part of that is that when they're finished speaking with the machine, they just shut it off. You know, which kind of teaches them to shut people off, you know, or try to, once they are finished with them on a social or emotional level. You know, but you can't do it, you know, or in most cases, you just can't do it. And I think this is a real good reason why we just have a lot of social issues with young people nowadays. You know, they learn at a much later level how to deal with human beings, because they were raised by machines. You know, and speaking of, we're just using all of our social mechanics through these gadgets for evil. We just are, you know, and shout out to whoever it was, because even with me this week, I had an anonymous texter. Okay. Now, when I get an anonymous text, I gotta answer that shit. You know why? It's not because I'm curious or nothing like that. Like, if somebody is anonymous, and that means I can't have an emotional connection to this person, And it just gives me full right to talk trash once they start talking trash. You start saying some shit I don't know or I don't care for, I'm just going full shits on you. And I can do it with good conscience and no remorse, you know, because you're anonymous. Okay, I don't know you. Don't know who you are. You know, don't have any reason for special treatment. I could bring the guns out. You know, but this person claimed that they were a woman and that I knew them very well. We knew each other very well, you know, and also said that we had sex a bunch of times. Okay. And why is that important? Because they then offered a picture of the pussy. All right. Now, I said yes to that, of course, you know, and a lot of you are probably thinking, all right, you know, on some hornball shit, like you hornball, you grease bucket. Of course you said yes. No. All right. That was because I was confident that if you get an anonymous chick, you know, in my square, and she says we had sex a bunch of times, and she shows me the pussy, I'll recognize the pussy. Okay? And that's real shit. If you put some ass and some leg in there too, like, there's a good chance I might tell you who the whole woman is. Good chance. Okay? Because I feel confident that way. I feel like I value the women I have slept with enough, you know, more than once, you know, enough, habitually, enough to recognize the pussy. You know, but when this woman dropped this off, I did not recognize the pussy. So I was skeptical. Okay, on top of that, your boy's tech savvy. All right, your boy's tech savvy. Okay, and I examined the photo. All right, and it was a square photo. Now, if you take a picture with a cell phone, okay, it doesn't come out in a square. It comes out in a rectangle, because that is just the ratio of the photo. This is how we take them. So I got a square picture, which means this picture likely came from an app or a website or something of that nature. You know, which this person didn't anticipate me knowing, I don't think. Also, if you full screen these kind of pictures, you're going to get some blur. All right. This is a resolution issue. So it went through some sort of processing for some sort of app or website to where it was a low res square picture. You know what I'm saying? This person gave me some straight Google pussy. All right. And tried to trick your boy with some Google pussy that he doesn't recognize. Okay. You're not going to get me. All right. You're not going to get me. Not me. I'm not him. All right. I'm way too smooth for the shits. All right. And this person was also asking me to send a picture back. Okay. And any woman who ever really dealt with me seriously can understand right now why that was just the wrong thing to say. Okay, so that's twice on a strikeout, basically. All right, I didn't need a third one. I already knew this person was full of shit. Okay, all the way full of shit. You know, so it was just me taking jabs for the rest of the shit, and they ended up like cursing me out in the end or something and saying go fuck my nigga or something. I don't know. You know, they said they're blocking my crackhead. You know, not my crackhead ass, but they're blocking my crackhead. Okay, and do not text them back, which I wasn't gonna do. You know, I didn't text you in the fucking first place. You know, if you tell me you blocking me, like, I'm just gonna stop. Like, that's the guy I am. I don't need to get the last word. I was finished talking to you from the fucking start. You know, I didn't want to talk to you from the beginning. Okay, and that much happened to me. All right. And hopefully that's finished. You know, but the funniest part of this is that this person was probably going to see me again, you know, and might speak to me again, and they'll know that they did this dumb shit and I won't, and we'll just be talking. We'll just be talking to each other. And that's funny to me. Okay. And they probably expect my feelings to be hurt or me to be upset or something. And I'm not. And it's fucking funny, man. Because they blocked my crack head. All right. And my crackhead is feeling fine. I'm okay with it. All right. I don't need more square Google pussy. I just don't. All right. But thank you. I appreciate you, whoever that was. All right. That was like a highlight of my week. Very funny. Okay. Because I just really don't find people that entertaining. But that was absolutely entertaining. Whoever you are, you fucking crazy. Shout out to you. All right. Speaking of the crazies, man, this is more about women. This is more about this week. This is more about women. All right. And I don't know. Maybe you're not able to tell from this podcast. Okay. But I can be very perceptive when it comes to people. All right. People watch. I look around and I try to figure it out. You know, that's all I'm trying to do is figure it out. We're just trying to figure out the universe. Okay, because that's what there is to do on this fucking planet. If you didn't know, if you're not trying to do that, use a tweak. You're living in a la la land. All right. You're living in a la la land. And that's not a bad thing. That's okay. If that's who you are. But just know, if you're not trying to figure out, unravel the fucking universe, you're living in a la la land. You know, and it's fine. But it's very weird, and a few of my guys have tested me on this. Shout out to them, you know, that I can tell things about people or make inferences about people sometimes just by looking at them, just by the way they look, the way they're presenting themselves. Okay, I can get an understanding of them. You know, not to say that I'm 100% right or I'm on my crystal ball bullshit. I'm not. You know, but I can make some inferences if they are presenting themselves the way they choose to. If they are doing that, you know, and it's not just a facade, I can make some pretty good inferences about a person and their personality. And there was a woman, all right, at a party. And I saw her, and generally I just don't go for women who look like her per se. And I don't mean a set of facial features or anything like that. I'm saying the way she presented herself suggested some habits. And habits that make me apprehensive. Okay? And part of that is always heavy makeup. Okay, and I've pressed a few chicks about, and if you ain't on a slanguage game, press meaning not necessarily interrogate, though it can mean that, but to be very forward and very direct in questioning or trying to understand. All right, it's a press. I press them about why they wear makeup or so much makeup, and a few of them give me some bullshit about artistic. You know, they get artistic with the face. They feel like they're good at the makeup, so they do it, you know, because it's a point of creativity or whatever. And it's probably true for some ladies, but I don't think it's true for most ladies. I don't. All right. It is a security thing. Okay. You feel like you look better with the makeup. So when it's time to look good, quote unquote, you put the makeup on. And that's the simplest version of that to help you understand what the makeup is to you. You know, but when it's constant heavy makeup, there's an issue. Okay, the issue could be physical, meaning there might be some scarring or blemishing or whatever on the face, and you want to cover it up. Okay, it could be psychological. You have an understanding of the way you look that has you come to a conclusion that you need makeup all the time. All right. And those two things can happen in combination, of course. So when I see women and they have these things, I'm just trying to read. I'm just trying to understand what's happening, you know. And if that is in combination with wigs, and I'm talking about in young women, man, wigs. Jeez, man. We just really made this into a thing on a societal level. Like, you could just wear a fucking wig. I remember when that was an old lady thing. Like, it used to be nothing but old ladies wearing wigs, and if you had a wig on, you understood it was an old lady. It was like a joke to show on TV or on commercial or whatever, to pull an old lady's wig off. But this is a young lady thing now, wigs. You've got a wig on, you got makeup on. Who the fuck are you? And I know I touched on that in some earlier podcasts. Who the fuck are you? So I had a who the fuck are you on my hands, you know, but I just committed too deep from the jump. So I had to see this through. And I already knew it was gonna be something, you know, and it was just a matter of time before Shorty just fucking crazied up on me, and I knew that it was gonna happen. And I'm gonna tell you a little piece of the crazies that went down. Okay, so off top, the woman asked me if I had a girlfriend, like regular question, standard question. I understand that question, all right, and I know why you would want to know that, like, duh. You know, so I proceeded to tell her that there was no girlfriend. Okay. Do you have a girlfriend? No. Flat out. No. Now, what conclusions you might draw from that, I don't know. But that was a pretty standard question and answer. You would think that question would be put to rest by that answer, right? Wrong. All right. Fucking wrong. All right. Now, me, I tell a lot of jokes. Not gonna say tell a lot of jokes, but I make a lot of humorous remarks, and the remarks are humorous to me. You know, especially when I first meet a lady. Why? We don't have anything. There's nothing. We have nothing going on together in our lives. We don't rely or depend on each other for anything. So, by all accounts, everything should be lighthearted. You know, to me, I think, you know, like, why the fuck would I deep dive into some serious conversation with you? You know, we don't know each other. You know, so one day we met up again at a party or something, and I was actually jumping in the RiHuBe Facebook group, running into some comments. You know, some people was talking, so I was talking to some people. This was in a party, and a woman asked me if I was texting my girlfriend. Okay. Now, much earlier, she asked me if I had a girlfriend. I said no. All right. And this happened multiple times, as a matter of fact. So when she asked me if I'm texting my girlfriend, to me, and the podcast has started now 40 minutes in because I'm crying now. To me, she had to be joking. Why? Because I said there was no girlfriend. I said that already. Okay, so if I say there's no girlfriend, and then later you ask me about a girlfriend, you have to be fucking joking. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna joke. Okay. And she said, "Are you texting your girlfriend?" And I just nodded yes. All right. And I continued talking to RiHuBe. Okay. And she asked some follow-up questions, and I didn't let up, and I just was continuing to say that this was the girlfriend. All right. And I think later, a few days later, whatever, she asked me why I don't bring my girlfriend to parties. Okay. Again, have to be fucking joking, because we went over this time and time again, that there's no girlfriend. Imaginary girlfriend, you're making her up. And I said, because she's boring. You know, my girlfriend's boring, you know, and she likes soca too much. And if you don't know what that is, find out. SOCA. Not my style. All right. And if you do know what that is, you kind of know why it's not my style. And so she responded with like a shake my head or something. She was saying, then why are you still with her? Again, follow-up joke had to be a fucking follow-up joke. All right. And I'm enjoying this now. I'm thinking that this woman has great And this is the difference between men and women right here. I'm saying it to you right now because I'm thinking that this woman has a fucking wonderful sense of humor. All right? I'm enjoying this. And she says, why are you still with her? And I say, she buys me candy. I'm going to say that again for you. She buys me candy. I wrote that. I wrote that in writing. She buys me candy. Yo, any adult person in their right fucking mind, as soon as I said she buys me candy, you have to fucking know that I am joking. You have to. There's no fucking way. There's no way you think I'm serious. There's no way. Do you think this woman thought that I was serious? I'm not even sure. It seems like either she thought I was serious or that remark was just so over the top that she now realized that I was joking about everything fucking before. Shit. So at that point, she started spazzing. And I'm telling her, there's no fucking girlfriend. And she asked me, why did you say yes at the party then? I said, because I said no to you 1,000,000 times before that. Like, how the fuck are you choosing which one of these you believe? How? I guess because she couldn't answer that, she just kind of smartened the fuck up. And what was the excuse? Man, look, I'm an immature son of a bitch, and I know that. I know that about myself. Okay, but what a lot of people don't understand is I'm not just blindly immature, which people like to think because they like to think that they're smarter than you and that they can understand what's going on in your brain. I am purposely immature. Okay, creativity is immature. Entertainment, in most cases, if it's comedic especially, is immature. We like all of these fantasy elements too. Nowadays, all immature shit. If we were all straightforward adults, in the mindset of adulthood only, everything on TV would be so fucking boring because everything fun is really immature. But what I am not necessarily is childish. Okay, and this woman gave a childish answer. She was saying that she's a Pisces. She's very sensitive and spiritual and unique. Now, what the fuck am I supposed to gather from that? That I am none of those things? Is that what I'm supposed to understand? Or that since those elements are in play, I have to act differently? Or work around them? I don't fucking know. I don't know. Don't know. No clue. So I think I just stopped responding after that. Because I was finished right there. I was really finished before that. Because before that, there was an incident, at the party where I wouldn't even say this part, which I probably should have. That was me talking the whole makeup thing. I think the party was mad hot. And I think her whole makeup was just melting off. And I think I saw what was under there. But I'm not sure because it was still dark. And she couldn't feel good about it because I think I had her earrings in my pocket. And I realized that right when the shit let out, the club let out. And I called her like, yo, I got your earrings. Like, we in the same place at the same time. Like, just meet me outside. I'll give you your earrings, whatever. She was like, no. Just give them to me next time you see me, whatever. And I'm like, yo, we right the fuck here. But she was probably running. You know what I mean? Didn't want me to see the makeup melt off their face. And what happens with that? You know, and that made me sad. That made me sad. Really sad, for real. You know, because that's what it is right now. She buys me candy, you know. So I finished talking right there. I think she called me, and I just tried to call her back, just because, you know, I'm a very straightforward dude. You know, if we were gonna talk about it, we was gonna talk about it then. You know, but she didn't end up not answering, and she just texted me and called me after that, and I just was like, fuck it, you know, because real shit, I see what it is already now. I seen it already early, you know, while we have nothing going on. I see it's already hitting the fucking ceiling, and I know what this is gonna be. And the rest of this is just going to be me being mad at myself that I saw this shit early on and that I kept on with it and that it turned into some real life fuckery. I'm not doing that. Not going through it. Not doing it. You know, so I didn't do it. You know, so shout out to her if she hears this ever. Shout out to you. It's no beef or nothing. Say what's up when you see me if you want to, but you probably won't because ladies get angry about stuff. And you know, she probably tried to convince some people that I did something to her. Nothing happened. Didn't do anything to anybody. And it's just going to be what it is from here. You know, and I sure will say what's up and give you a hug. You know, after getting ghosts on that phone. You feel me? Because we didn't do anything to each other. I didn't do anything to you. Yeah, maybe something happened that you didn't like, but I didn't do anything. And I maintain that. Oh, my nose is running. Nose is running. Okay, so that is what that is right there. That's a done deal. Sorry, I just snotting you guys up. I'm just really gonna just use my shirt. Like, fuck it. Fuck it. Gonna do some man shit on the podcast. Fuck it. You know. So after all of that wrapped up, I felt real good. I felt very good. Okay, because you gotta know that's one of guys' worst nightmare. Like, you just really end up with the nightmare chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just really don't want it to happen. You know, we just like peaceful interactions with women. You know, it's very nice to have those. And I'm talking sensible guys, like all you ladies out there listening and saying, no, it's probably this, that. I get it. Sometimes guys get out of line. Like, people get out of line. Okay? This woman just started flipping because I said the woman buys me candy. Come on. We all out here doing dumb shit. That's what the fuck this is. Speaking of dumb shit, I'm going to my school's homecoming this weekend. Shout out to Voorhees College, man. You know, I made it a pact, you know, with myself that I would just go to all of them, you know, if I can, like all of them. If there's not something drastic stopping me, I'm just gonna fucking go. And I'm going to this one. And what it really is you watching people get older, watching the people you know get older. Okay, in leaps and bounds. You know, and speaking of, I'm gonna hit a few people up and see if they're going. You know, and let's see what's what with that. But it's really, and by get older, what's really going on with everybody is losing hair and gaining weight. That's really all that's going on. Everything else is pretty passable. You know, but we just really looking at and looking for who's losing hair and gaining weight. Because that's what the fuck does it. You know, and I'll tell you right now, so funny to me You know, watching that happen, super funny to me. You know, and if you want to chop it into guys and girls, like it's funny to watch the guys lose the hair, and it's funny to watch the women gain the weight. You know, am I saying that maybe because I'm not losing mine? No. Okay, because that's not happening, but there's also not much of anything else happening. But that's just what it is. It's fucking funny. You know, and the women gaining the weight one is the fucking funniest. The fucking funniest. All right, because I'm telling you, it's the Mike Jones syndrome. Back then, they didn't want me. All right, because when a woman put them pounds on, yo, they'll come press you up. You know what I'm saying? I could remember some chicks who I used to press up on, and they wasn't with the shits. You know, and I always took that no like a G. You know what I mean? You're not with it, it's fine, it's good. You know what I'm saying? Just say what's up when you see me. We good. You know, but don't put up 30 and then try to bring it back to me. You get what I'm saying? Like what about that part where you put up 30 said to you that you might need to check in on RiHuBe? How did that happen? What was that? Okay? Because RiHuBe didn't put up 30. I can understand that. RiHuBe put up 30 and you caught up to him. And now you feel like we in the same league. Nah, you out the league now. Okay? You's a heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Feel me? If you ain't tackled one heavyweight in your lifetime as a guy, you know, like you are missing that experience. You know, but I'm not a guy who just makes that a thing. You know what I'm saying? When I was with the shits, you wasn't like that. So, at the very least, if things are different now, and you want to press me up, yo, anticipate that I might feel differently. The crazy thing about ladies is they think that everything's just gonna go down the same way it did the first time around, which is fucking amazing. Why would you think that? Yo, things are different now. Wow. And I don't get it. And there's usually one, you know, per visit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a lot of nostalgia involved in all of that shit, and a lot of people I haven't seen in a long time. And I like kicking it with my peoples, and I realize when I do that, how much I'm just never around people I actually like and want to be around, you know. And sometimes that makes me a little bit oblivious when it's the woman thing, when there's like a woman kicking it to me and I'm just not paying her enough attention because I haven't seen my guys in a year, you know, and we just drinking and dumbing and having fucking fun, you know. So if you're that lady this time, like, knock me over the head if you have to, because I'm just gonna be in a different place. I'm in a different place, in a different fucking space, man. And all my young boys listening to this is like, yo, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Some cheeks knocking on your door, you know. You gotta hear that. You gotta listen to that. Bro, let me tell you, it gets old, you know, to one degree or another. It just gets fucking old. You just don't need the numbers no more. It just is what it is. Sometimes you just rather fucking do something else. And I never used to understand that when I was young. I used to watch TV and they have the fucking poker night, all guys or whatever the fuck, no wives allowed, whatever the fuck. I used to be like, yo, y'all boys is bugging. But I get it now. I fucking get it now. You know, sometimes you just want to have a good time, no strings. You know, no extras. You just want to know that you could curse as loud as you want, and you can say whatever the fuck you feel, and no arguments will come of it. It's a good feeling. You understand? So that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna be. You know, and I feel like this podcast just went by so fucking fast, man. Shout out to women wearing makeup, man. Go easy on us. Go easy on us. You know, just try to dial the crazies down just a little bit. Understand what's happening with yourself, you know, and with us at the same time. You guys are smart enough. Fucking do it. You know, shout out to Voorhees College for sure. For sure. It's my team. Alright, we're gonna be out there this weekend. South Carolina, making it fucking happen. You notice we got new hats on the table. You could get those at fitsbywave.com. You're gonna see the links in the fucking video, man. I'm gonna probably be rocking at least one of these at the homecoming, so you're gonna see that, baby. Alright, and as always, HuBes, fuck yeah.
Breaking hard.